Chapter 23. The Call. Pierre remained trapped inside himself, unmoving and unthinking. Severine rushed around preparing another pot of stew for him. Until the magic took full hold, she had to keep feeding it to him. She couldn't risk losing him, not now. Not after her sister's child had refused her. She grumbled as she worked, irritated that she had let the girl go. I should have found a way to change the child first, Severine muttered. With the child's magic on her side, turning the rest of the people on the island would have been simpler. But now they would fight. Severine didn't mind the fighting, but she did mind losing her own kind. She shoved a spoonful of stew into Pierre's mouth. Well, they will lose too, she said aloud. At least I have you. Severine dabbed a dribble of stew from Pierre's lips. She looked at him tenderly. In spite of everything that had gone wrong, she would still get a family. Crean would eventually follow her father. Severine had noticed they could not be without each other for long. In 2 more nights the magic would have permanent hold on Pierre, and he and Severine would be sealed together. He would bring his daughter on their side. Eventually Severine would release Pierre from the magic. He might come to love her as he had loved her sister, but before any of that happened, she had to take care of the people of the island. Only 2 nights to wait, but in the silent house, restlessness settled on Severine. She wanted the people turned faster. Why wait 2 more nights to begin? She wondered. I have an army willing to do as I say, and if Crean sees what we Jumbies can do if she doesn't cooperate, maybe she will join us on her own. She went to the window and sang in a voice only understood by Jumbies. Drowned in water, scorched in sun, tonight your time is finally done. Silent children, come and fight, the people's end begins tonight. She fed Pierre another spoonful and patted his dry lips. There now, she said. That wasn't so bad, was it? And now I should take care of your wife. She picked up Nicole's necklace by the string, careful not to touch the stone. It felt heavy under her fingers, not because of the stone itself, but because she understood its magic. She felt its power as soon as it touched her skin. It was forming magic, an ancient power that was created at the same time that the very earth was made. It was bigger and more powerful than she herself, more powerful than anything she had ever done. She wondered how her sister had come by it, how she had handled it, and if it was the thing that had allowed her to live among people for as long as she had. Severine was tempted to try to use the magic herself, but she knew that the magic was dangerous even for her. How then could her sister have given it to a child, who wore it so casually around her neck? She cringed at the thought that those boys had tied it around an agoute's tail and set it free in the forest. The poor little creature, Severine said to herself as she went out of the house and into the shadowy trees. It was probably so afraid when it felt this magic tied to its body. As she walked through the forest, the creatures she passed felt the power of the magic in her hands. A family of lape trembled among the shadows. The large rodents, white spots blended with the few spots of sunlight that came through the mahogany forest, and their whiskers trembled like the grass at Severine's feet. Even the hummingbirds ceased to dart around the orchids and twined around tree trunks. Everything lay still. In the thickest part of the mahogany forest where no human could ever walk, Severine turned to her jumbie self in the open air. Her body looked less like the beautiful woman who appeared at the market and more like a tangle of wood and vines crawling with insects. But her form flickered and faded like a candle as she passed through solid rock and closely knotted her trees. She muttered to herself as she went, "If I had to do it all this time, I would have found the right way to use it. The island could already be mine." Severine knew that her sister would have known she would use the magic this way. It was no wonder she had given the necklace to Crean. "How long had you been lying, sister?" Severine asked. "You fooled us all." Severine reached the highest point on the island. The cliff overlooked the same bay where Pierre fished. She chose a rock that jutted out over the water and secured the necklace there, far from the children. Now it would be safe until Severine understood how to unlock its full magic. It was a delicate thing, and once used, it could never be used again. As Severine walked back down through the trees, she whispered another message to the Jumbies in their language, telling them, "Children, children, stand on ground. No one enters through our yard. Sharpen claws and sticks and stones. Tonight we shall retake our home." Jumbies emerged from the trees to listen to her plan. The forest came alive with sounds of slithering, cracking, scratching, and shuffling as each of them got ready. Already the sun was slipping towards the sea. Soon the battle would begin.